What if I told you that during World War II, one soldier, a single man, managed to liberate an entire city from Nazi occupation completely alone? He didn't have a squad. He didn't have backup. He had a rifle, a grenade or two, one good eye, and an almost supernatural level of courage. He infiltrated a city at night, ambushed patrols, captured enemy officers, and caused so much chaos that the Germans thought a whole Canadian division was attacking them. By morning, they surrendered. This wasn't a movie. It wasn't propaganda. It actually happened. And the man behind it all was Leo Major, the one-eyed ghost of the battlefield, the Canadian soldier the Nazis never saw coming. Leo Major was born in Montreal, Canada, on January 23, 1921. He was the son of French-Canadian parents, growing up in a working-class family during the Great Depression. Life was tough. Money was scarce. His father was strict, even harsh, and young Leo learned early on that no one was coming to save him. That independent streak would define him for the rest of his life. He wasn't afraid of authority, didn't respect ranks or titles unless they were earned, and he always believed that rules were meant to be tested. By the time he joined the Royal 22nd Regiment, known as the Vendeuse, Leo wasn't a typical soldier. He was restless, confident, and according to his fellow troops, a little crazy. The kind of crazy you actually want in a foxhole beside you. On June 6, 1944, Leo Major landed on Juno Beach during the D-Day invasion. As part of the first wave of Canadian troops, he waded ashore under heavy fire, dodging bullets, mortars, and machine guns. It didn't take long for his legend to begin. That same day, Leo captured a German armored vehicle filled with important intelligence documents by himself. No one told him to do it. He just saw an opportunity and took it. But a few weeks later, fate struck hard. During a patrol, a phosphorus grenade exploded near him, temporarily blinding him and permanently destroying vision in his left eye. Doctors wanted to send him home. Most soldiers would have accepted that. After all, he'd done his part. But not Leo Major. He told the medics flat out, "I only need one eye to aim my rifle." And just like that, he returned to the front lines, half blind, but twice as dangerous. Leo didn't just survive the war. He seemed to enjoy it. He thrived in chaos. He volunteered for every dangerous mission, scouting enemy positions, sneaking behind German lines, and collecting prisoners. His commanders started using him like a living weapon, one man who could cause more disruption than an entire squad. He'd sneak into towns, snatch German officers in the dark, and return before anyone noticed. But Leo wasn't reckless. He was smart. He studied his enemies, used the terrain, and trusted his instincts. And those instincts would soon lead him to one of the most incredible solo operations in military history. By April 1945, the Allies were advancing through the Netherlands, pushing the Germans toward collapse. Leo's regiment was ordered to take the town of Zutphen, still occupied by Nazi forces. The original plan was simple: send a patrol to scout the enemy positions before the main attack. Leo volunteered immediately, but what Leo did that night went far beyond reconnaissance. Under the cover of darkness, armed only with his rifle and a few grenades, he entered the city alone. He moved street to street, ambushing German patrols and eliminating sentries before they could raise the alarm. At one point, he found an enemy command post, a full-blown headquarters. Leo stormed it, captured several officers, and marched them out at gunpoint to the Canadian lines. When his commander saw him return with prisoners, he thought the mission was over. Leo just shrugged and said, "I'm not done yet." Then he disappeared back into the city. That night, he set Nazi trucks on fire, blew up ammo dumps, and cut off communications. He was everywhere at once, a ghost haunting the streets of Zutphen. By dawn, the Germans were in complete panic. Believing they were surrounded by an entire division, they abandoned the city. When the Canadian forces entered the next morning, they found no resistance. Leo Major had liberated Zutphen by himself. You'd think that would be enough for one lifetime, but not for Leo. Just a few weeks later, he was involved in another operation in the city of Wageningen, also in the Netherlands. The German forces there had orders to hold the town until Berlin fell. Leo didn't wait for a full attack. He and a small group of men entered Wageningen at night. But somewhere along the line, Leo went solo again. He infiltrated the German lines, started blowing up vehicles, and used captured prisoners to spread confusion. The Germans were so terrified they sent a white flag delegation to surrender. Once again, Leo Major had effectively liberated a city by himself, twice in the same war. For his actions, he was awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal, not once but twice, an honor shared by almost no one else in the entire Canadian military. After World War II, Leo went home to Canada. He tried to settle into civilian life, got married, started a family, but adventure seemed to find him again. When the Korean War broke out in 1950, Leo re-enlisted. He was now a veteran, older, and still with just one good eye. In Korea, he pulled off another near-suicidal mission. During one operation, his unit was pinned down and in danger of being overrun. Leo led a counterattack under heavy fire, capturing an enemy position and rescuing his men. For this, he received his second Distinguished Conduct Medal. Even after 2 wars, dozens of firefights, and countless near-death experiences, Leo never lost that spark, that refusal to back down. Despite everything he accomplished, Leo Major never acted like a hero. He hated attention and rarely spoke about the war. In interviews years later, he came across as humble, even casual about his accomplishments. He didn't talk about killing or medals. He talked about helping people, especially the Dutch civilians he had freed. For the people of Zutphen and Wageningen, Leo wasn't just a soldier, he was a savior. They never forgot him. To this day, streets and monuments in those cities carry his name. Every year, the Dutch hold ceremonies in his honor, laying flowers at his memorial. In Canada, his story went almost unknown for decades, until veterans and historians began sharing it online. Now, Leo Major is finally being recognized as one of the most extraordinary soldiers in history. Leo Major's life reminds us that true heroism doesn't always come from generals or grand strategies. Sometimes it comes from a single person who refuses to give up, who sees an impossible situation and says, "I'll handle it." He wasn't perfect. He disobeyed orders, took insane risks, and sometimes acted alone when teamwork was required. But he won, again and again, because he believed fear was optional. As one of his comrades said years later, Leo didn't follow the rules of war, he rewrote them. In a war filled with tanks, planes, and armies, Leo Major fought like a ghost, invisible, fearless, unstoppable. He captured prisoners, freed cities, and inspired generations who came after him. So next time you see a Hollywood war hero take on impossible odds, remember Leo Major, because he did it for real, with one eye, one rifle, and the heart of a lion.